So we're gonna get started on like a really quick kind of almost small batch chili. This is really, really easy to do, comes together really quickly, and gives you that low and slow cooked chili flavor, but without having to do any of the low and slow cooking. So I have got about a half of an onion here that I've diced up, and I've been cooking in a little bit of oil with some salt and pepper for about 5 minutes. Then I stirred in a garlic clove just for the last 30 seconds to pull back on that kind of punchy garlic flavor. Now into there, I'm gonna add in my kind of chili spices. This is gonna toast them, bring them up, get them nice and delish. So the first thing I need is a teaspoon and a half of chili powder. Obviously, we're making chili. This makes sense, right? Okay, cool. That right on in. And if you are someone who has spices that have been hanging out in your pantry for about 82 years, give them a toast. If you toast them, they're gonna come up in flavor. They're gonna taste nice and bright again. Maybe a little bit dusty, but the toasting kind of takes that flavor off. Now, into there, we're gonna go in with a half a teaspoon of some smoked paprika as well. That's gonna give a nice smoky flavor. Again, low and slow cooked, absolutely beautiful. And then for a little bit more smokiness, but also kind of a lemoniness, I'm going in with a half a teaspoon of cumin. Now, cumin is one of my favorite things to add into, in particular, vegetarian dishes, because it gives a meatiness, which is an absolute dream. Then for a bit of heat, going in with a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can up this or pull back, whatever you like. I like a little heat in my chili though, so we're doing it. Okay, give that a bit of a stir to combine. And you can see the spices kind of start coating the bottom of the pan. That's gonna get them toasting. I'm gonna add in a little bit more oil just to get them going, because that's gonna bring that flavor. As soon as they hit the heat, they start to perfume and smell absolutely beautiful. Now into there, I'm also gonna go in with about a tablespoon of tomato paste. This is my favorite flavor hack. If I want something, whether it's tomato sauce or chili, to taste like I've been cooking it for like a day, tomato paste. Someone else did all the work. It's cooked down, it's rich, it's thick, and it's beautiful. So into there, we need to add in our beans. Now, if you wanted to, you could also do some ground beef in here, but this is actually a veggie chili. So super simple, yeah. We're happy about the veggie chili today. I'm feeling it. All right, I'm going in with a can of red kidney beans. I like using like a darker bean like this, maybe a black bean for my chili, because it gives it a really nice flavor, gives it a good color, and it looks very much like chili. So give that a stir together. You wanna cook that down for about 4 to 5 minutes, just until those flavors come together. Then you wanna deglaze with just a splash of water. If you wanted to, you could also do beer. That wouldn't be a bad thing, not gonna lie. But that's gonna give it that like kind of thick, beautiful chilliness, super tasty. Right here, I have got some that I made earlier. As you can see, it's cooked down just a little bit, giving you that beautiful flavor. So now we are going to build our chili cheese dog. Now, since this is a veggie chili, I thought we would do a veggie dog. Now, if you want to do a meat one, go for it. But we've got a veggie dog here that I've just grilled off. You could do it in a pan or anything. Pop that on into your bun. Then get all of that beautiful, delicious chili and just spoon it over top. Honestly, I'm thrilled about this. And then for me, a chili cheese dog isn't a chili cheese dog without cheese, obviously. Now, I'm going on with a whole bunch of grated cheddar cheese. Absolute dream. Now, if you wanted to as well, you could turn this up a notch and put like crushed up corn chips and like pickled jalapenos and kind of make it into like a nacho chili cheese dog. You do whatever you want. But moving on, I'm gonna show you how to make, this is a bit of a spin on both a hot dog and a classic sandwich. We're talking a Reuben dog. Huh? Okay, I'm feeling excited about this. All right, so the first thing we need for the Reuben dog is actually the bun. So classic Reuben sandwich usually has a little bit of Swiss cheese on there. So I have got some buns that I've toasted up, but before I did that, I added the cheese into the bun. Right? I'm feeling excited about this one. Guys, I clearly had way too much fun with these recipes. I'm very thrilled about it. All right, so I'm gonna pop that little dog bun right on into my situation. And then for a Reuben dog, you gotta do a beef dog, right? I feel this makes sense to my head, so this is what we're doing. So a beef grilled dog right on in. Then on top of there, a little bit of sauerkraut, because that's a classic. If you're not a sauerkraut fan, get it in your life. Honestly, it's delicious, so good. And then onto there, we're also gonna go on with that classic Thousand Island dressing that you usually get on a Reuben sandwich. So that's just a mixture of a little bit of minced onion, some mayonnaise, a little bit of relish, and some ketchup. So I've got that here that we made a little bit earlier. Super tasty, just pop that right on down the side. Absolutely beautiful. And then finally, no Reuben is complete without a pickle spear or two. So pop those on top. Absolute dream. I'm thrilled about that one. Now finally, Totally. So far, you're like, Mary, you showed me how to make a very small amount of chili and then put together a hot dog. I hear you. But this time, we're going to make what I'm referring to the fanciest hot dog we're making today. And this is what I'm calling an upside-down dog, which doesn't sound fancy at all, but it is, trust me. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you've seen online, there's those upside-down tarts that people make, whether it's fruit or brie or anything like that. Bake it upside down, flip it over. What that's going to do is give you good caramelization and flavor, super tasty. So I've got a sheet pan here lined with a piece of parchment paper, and onto there I'm going to scatter on just some thinly sliced onions, just in about a rectangle, about the size of your hot dog, about the size of the puff pastry we're going to cut. So scatter that all on top. Then onto those onions, I'm going on with some grated cheese. Now, you could do cheddar, you could do Swiss, or my personal fave, you could do Gruyere. Make them a little fancier. So I'm gonna go on with a little bit of Gruyere. Now, what's gonna happen is you don't actually have to oil this to give the oil for those onions to cook. The cheese, as it melts, is gonna kind of, not split, but like some of the oil of the cheese is gonna come out to cook those onions in cheese oil. Okay, I'm thrilled about this. Honestly, I've been dreaming about this day for a while. I love a hot dog day. All right, add that cheese down. And again, everything we're doing here is going to be flipped the other way once we flip it over. So that's looking beautiful. Then I'm gonna go onto there with my hot dogs, just pop them right on top. You can do this with any sort of hot dog. Does this look weird? Yes. If you're just tuning in now, don't worry. This is what it's supposed to look like. Having a good time. Now, we need to make basically the bun for these hot dogs. This is almost like a pig in a blanket, but for the summertime, because it's not fully enclosed. It's one of those nights where you got your foot out because it's still a little bit warm. So I've got some puff pastry here, and for that, I'm gonna make a little bit of like a mustardy kind of sauce to go on. So I need about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I'm just using smooth Dijon. Love mustard on a hot dog. Then into there, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of smoked paprika. Again, that's gonna give this a little bit of that smoky, kind of sort of like grilled flavor. Just a little pinch is gonna be beautiful. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Give that a stir together. And then we're just gonna put that onto a sheet of puff pastry. Now, I'm never going to ask you to make puff pastry because I don't want to make puff pastry. So just go to your freezer section at the grocery store, and they have them kind of near where you get the pre-made pie shells and things like that. So just spread that mustard over top. Beautiful, beautiful. Then you wanna cut this sheet of puff pastry into like 6-ish rectangles. This is the only tricky part of the recipe, is seeing if you have good visual acuity. But we're not sure. All right, I'm gonna do that, perfect. So then you wanna grab those pieces of puff pastry, flip them on top of those dogs, pop it down. There we go, now we're seeing the upside down part. Pop it on top. Then what you're gonna do is you're also gonna get a little bit of an egg wash, brush that over top, and then we're just gonna scatter that with some sesame seeds. I love a sesame seed bun, super, super tasty. Pop that on over. Then what you wanna do is pop that into a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, just until the puff pastry is nice and golden brown and puffy and beautiful. When they are, oh my gosh, guys, I just got a sneak peek. When they are done, they look a little something like this. Like fancy looking little pigs in a blanket, absolutely beautiful. Super tasty, and then this is where the upside down comes in handy. Get your little spatula, flip them on over. You've got that golden brown, crispy cheese, that beautiful onion, caramelized and wonderful. I'm so excited, pop that in. That's like a party dog. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.